Welcome to Listen in 3D, episode number 30. I'm your boy Justin, aka Too Tall for You Fool.
And I'm Netta, aka Wondrous Net.
And together we are both Team 3D, the host of Listen in 3D, where we discuss, dissect, and debate the music and the albums in the world of hip hop and other genres. If you like what you're seeing, if you're watching us on YouTube, do us a favor, like this video, comment, share it around, and do us the biggest favor of all, which is subscribe. If you want to know when our videos go live right away, do us a favor, click that notification bell. That way you get notices when all our videos go live. We do value your time, but so we do have a lot of shorts on the channel if you don't have time to watch one of our full 30 to 40 minute episodes. So we'd really appreciate, if you just, support us any way you can. But definitely the best way to do it is just to like our content and, subscribe. Um, if you want to podcast the show, we are on Spotify, um, Amazon Music, and of course iHeartRadio. We're very close to getting on the Apple podcast. Just give us a little more time with that. Links to that was all in the description and our main page as well if you want to podcast the show. And if you want to email us, listenin3d at gmail.com, listenin3d at gmail.com, which is pretty much the name of our show. As you can see, it's on the screen if you're watching this video. Okay, so with all that out of the way, Netta, how are you doing today?
I'm pretty good. How about you?
I'm good. I'm good. Just it's Friday out here in Southern California at the time of this recording, and just trying to relax today, just getting some things done personally, and catching up on some Z's whenever I can. All right, so we got a classic for you guys today. Well, I think all the albums we do on the show are classics, but this one's like a real classic, like a big classic. You want to introduce this one, Netta?
Yeah, so today we'll be discussing Snoop Dogg's debut studio album, Doggy Style. It was released November 23rd, 1993. It was certified 4 times platinum. It peaked at number one on the R&B and hip hop charts and number one on the Billboard Top 200. It had singles including Who Am I, aka What's My Name, Gin and Juice, Doggy Dog World, all of which had music videos, as did Murder Was the Case. He had guest appearances from The Lady of Rage, The Dog Pound, Nancy Fletcher, Nate Dogg, Warren G, The Dramatics, and Lil Malik.
And he also had another guest appearance from RBX. Forgot to put that in outline also. So yeah, RBX. Sorry, RBX. uh, yeah. Snoop Doggy Dog, as he was known as at the time. Rapper from on Death Row Records, Dr. Dre, discovered him, and this was his debut album. So, and just if you wanted a big follow up to the Chronic album, you got it with this one, Doggy Style, and for the most part, growing up, I had this on CD, and I do have the vinyl right here, actually. The vinyl, if y'all can see it. Yeah. Yeah, so I do have the vinyl also for this one, and it's a great G Funk album, especially if you're into the G Funk sound. Dr. Dre, did perfect the sound, following up to his debut to Chronic, and Snoop Dogg. He had been in and out of the law, during that time in his career. He was even up for a murder charge, which he, eventually beat. Um, After his time with Death Row, he went to the South, No Limit Records, and then, left No Limit, went back to the West, did his Doggy Style Records, or Doghouse Records, I think that was the name of it. And, he's made records, ever since. And the guy has, blown up, from his beginnings. I think it's fair to say that he is a household name, regardless of if you listen to hip hop music or not. Yeah, it's like kind of like Kobe Bryant of basketball. Like if you didn't watch basketball, you knew who he was. I think it's the same thing with Snoop Dogg. If you don't listen to rap music, you know who Snoop Dogg is. You know his voice. speaking of his voices, I think he has one of the best voices and just all around. And I mean, he does acting too. He's a great actor. Just one of those great golden voices that you don't hear every day. Um, so I mean, definitely Snoop Dogg, definitely one of a kind. You have any memories of Snoop Dogg growing up? I know you do.
I have like a whole bunch of different memories. I guess I don't have any specific memories with this album other than just I just heard a lot of these songs on here. A lot of these, when I first started the album, I thought I only knew like one song or two, but I had heard a lot of these. I don't really have specific memories of him other than just him introducing Lil Bow Wow, honestly.
What about today? Do you keep up with him today? Do you keep up with him and what he's doing with Martha Stewart, his cereal brand that he has with Master P? Any of those or?
Yeah, I've seen him a lot in like commercials and stuff with Martha Stewart, but I've never bought any of their I don't even know what they sell, but I've never bought any of it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty close to giving the cereal a try, but the one, like the main one, like with the dog, it looks too much like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So it's like, is this gonna be like a rip off of Cinnamon Toast Crunch? I mean, they sell it at my local grocery store right here, and actually, I'm pretty low on cereal. I think I might give it a try. We'll see.
What is it called?
It's called Snoop cereal. Google it. They sell it
Oh,
at
okay.
Walmart. Yeah, Snoop cereal, and then it's him. He put it together along with Master P. So it's pretty cool. Yeah. Um. All right, but anyway, back to the album. What do you think of the artwork? It was pretty unique, and you sent me a little like 3D image. I mean, I know there's cons of having Spotify and Apple Music, pros and cons for both. But yeah, one of the pros for Apple Music is that 3D image you sent me. Pretty cool.
Yeah. A lot of the Apple Music artwork is a little different. I mean, it's animated. Like
Mm,
I don't think I've seen one that wasn't animated so far, but this is the first one I've seen animated in this way, like in that the 3D way. It's really cool. When I first see it, like my initial gut reaction, just seeing the lady with her ass hanging out of the dog pound. Oh,
mm,
honestly, it didn't make me feel so great,
yeah.
but on an aesthetic level, I like it. It's like it reminds me of reading a comic book. I used to read those little back when people used newspapers. I used to, always search for the comics section, and it reminds me of that. I like how they incorporated a picture of the Snoopy character
Yeah.
into the font. And I like that they convey, Snoop Dogg's whole vibe without really using his image at all. So I think it's a pretty unique cover, even though it's a little offensive.
It is a little offensive, but I always do appreciate album artwork that doesn't show the artist's face. It just leaves element of surprise, especially if you don't know what they look like. But in this case, I think everyone knows what Snoop looks like. But I do like the cartoon aspect of it. If you actually do get like the vinyl, there's like a whole like comic thing in here. Pretty offensive. Also, I'm not gonna read it to you or anything, but I mean, I do like the. I mean, I do like the dogs on top of the brick wall and then the dog catcher around the corner. I thought it was pretty cool,
Yeah.
but definitely very creative. Probably his best album cover to this day, if you ask me. But um,
Yeah, it's very unique. So what it lacks in let's see, couth, or it makes up for in originality.
yeah, definitely. All right, so talked about that. So the beats. There are a lot of great beats on here. Dr. Dre's putting this together. What are your thoughts on what do you think the best beat was or is?
I really liked Gin and Juice. It has like this high pitched like ringing sound, but the
Yeah.
one I really thought was number one was Ain't No Fun. It's like it almost makes you feel like you're in a dream or something. I really like the beat on there. What did you come down on?
I gotta agree with you. Ain't No Fun was probably the best beat on the whole album. Great beat. And then Gin and Juice would probably be a close second. And I do have more thoughts on Gin and Juice and the beat. I'll just wait till we start talking about the video. As for that, so album singles, I guess we'll flip. We'll do a little differently. Let's start with the video that technically wasn't a single until the future project, which was Murder Was the Case. Let's get it. Let's start with that one first. What were your thoughts on Murder Was the Case?
Um, I liked it. I thought it was funny that he has like the devil telling him, just remember who changed your mind. Because when you start set tripping, that
That
ass
ass
is
is
mine. I'm
mine.
like, really, the devil is telling someone not to set trip. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Um, and I liked the entire concept of it, the story he's telling. I wished in the video that he was gonna have that red jumpsuit with two braids that he talked about, because he said mad dogging niggas because I don't care, red
Hmm.
jumpsuit with two braids in my hair. And so I was fully expecting, him to have that. But he didn't. And the video where he's performing at the VMAs, I said, oh, wow, like he really had. I was under the impression that it was, in fact, a church. And I'm like, oh, no, wait, this is the VMA. So he really
Yeah.
had the VMA stage turned into a church. And then he says, I'm innocent at the end. I'm like, wow, this is a great strategy to taint the jury. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Well, I'll comment on the video. I don't want to talk too much because Murder Was a Case. I know you're referring to the remix version of the song, which was on a future project. The Murder Was the Case soundtrack. Which, spoiler alert, we will be doing that eventually. But going back to the music video at the VMAs, I thought probably one of the best performances of his career. He was so he's not too far into his career. Just him rapping the first verse. He's not even on stage. It was the whole choir there. So like, if no one's seen it before, you probably would be fooled that you're in a church. And then second verse, he's pushed out in a wheelchair, and like the devil looking guy on the screen and all that stuff. It was very, very good performance. In terms of the music video. As for the song itself, I mean, I think it had a great beat. Like one of those dark beats. It's a song I like to bump around Halloween time, for obvious reasons. But I mean, as for that, just explaining his story, getting shot and you know going having to go to jail, and then like the devil just giving him like you better remember, I was the one that gave all this to you, like don't mess it up now. So it's a very unique story, great dark beat. I mean, I enjoyed the song a whole lot in terms of that. So for Gin and Juice, so I have a few comments on here. I want to go back to the beat for a minute. Um, Watching the music video, it went into that whole, that sound you're talking about. It does that old dun, 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 dun. Like, I hadn't heard that in a while because I forgot for the clean version or the music video version of the song they did that. I don't know why they didn't include that on the on the uncut version, but I don't know. That's just me. So just wanted to comment on the beat for a minute there, and then just talking about so much drama in the LBC. It's kind of hard being Snoop D L Double G, and just just talking about having a good old time throughout the whole song, which it definitely sold. It definitely is one of the more popular songs on the whole album, and just the music video. I mean, it was a little funny, like with the fights and stuff, and just having a party. It is because his parents aren't home or whatever. But it just I don't know if it's me, but it just reminded me a little too much of the Nothing But a G Thang video.
Hmm.
I don't know. That was just
Um,
me.
It actually reminded me, and I was like, "Is this some sort of precursor to the movie Friday?" Because the dad in that video is like a John Witherspoon like character, and the mom has the same vibe as the mom on Friday. And then he is living with his mom like Craig. So it just reminded me of Friday. I liked Lil Bow Wow jumping on the couch.
Oh, you did recognize I was Bow Wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I, come on, I was a huge Bow Wow fan. I'm gonna recognize him anywhere. But
Yeah.
I like when he said everybody got their cups, but they ain't chipped in. I thought that was funny. And the singers on there, they're really good.
Oh,
At least on Apple Music, they weren't credited, so I don't know who they were. But I really like the singers, and like you said, the beat is really good.
let me find the singer right now. I believe the singer, if I get there, I think I think Daz did some background vocals for that song. So yeah, I think it was him. I don't think he was credited, but
It,
um,
it seems like a lot of songs from the '90s. There's just like some brilliant singer who just has no credits whatsoever.
yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's talk the next single, which was, if I can get back to the outline. Let's go with a Doggy Dog World. Let's talk about that song. Um, what were your thoughts on this one?
Um, I think that this song was like toward the end of the album, and I feel like I had enough by then of all of the we don't care about bitches, don't love these hoes, we don't care about the tricks. I don't know. I was just like, oh god. I mean, I think they do care about the bitches a lot because they just talk about them too much.
They do.
But
They
I
do.
really, I really like the video. I like when Rerun was dancing
Yeah, I
in the
like
video.
the guest appearances on that song were in the video. Yeah, anyway, where there were a whole lot of them. So yeah, just
Yeah. And when the pimp said, "We got some beautiful people in the house tonight, and we got some ugly ones," I thought that was funny.
yeah, I'm going through here right now. Besides the main guys on the song, Dr. Dre was in the video. Rudy Ray Moore, Pam Grier, Ron O'Neal, Fred Williamson, Fred Berry, who played Rerun from What's Happening. Just to name a few of the guest stars on there. One interesting fact about the video. You know how Snoop was performing at that award show, the VMAs 1994, for Murder
Hmm.
Was the Case. He actually won a award that night, and that was for best rap music video for this song actually. So
Oh,
congratulations.
really?
Yeah, this song, yeah, that video actually won a VMA, which kind of weird because you don't really see it in rotation that much, like when you watch random music videos. But it did win a VMA, folks, and it beat out two good songs actually too, and two songs we've actually reviewed already. Khalil's "Fantastic Voyage," and it also beat out Cypress Hill "Insane in the Brain," and we saw those videos.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe it was
It,
fixed. I don't
it,
know.
it was a definitely a memorable video. I say the video might be more memorable than the song itself.
Yeah, I think of the three singles, this is definitely the lower of the singles. I mean, it's last on my list anyway. Actually, one of the weaker songs on the album, but it's a good song. Don't get me wrong. I think it was the first single to actually officially feature the Dog Pound. So I think Daz and Corrupt did a very good job. Just telling the world who they were because definitely the Chronic. I mean, they weren't on any singles there, and then so Doggy Style. I think they really got to perform a little more. They showing people who they were and everything, and Daz and Corrupt, they definitely were some great guest appearances, and we will be doing future projects from them as well. So stay tuned for that, folks. Um, and then the last single we'll talk about is I'm just gonna say "What's My Name." Who am I? I don't know why. Yeah, "What's My Name" is a much better name than that. But talk about a sample being done very well. It's just Snoop Doggy Dogg, just telling the whole world it's his name, and I think he does it at every show to this day. Just first breakout single, and great beat, not the best beat, but definitely a great beat, and just talking about who he is and all that good stuff. And then, as for the music video, just it was pretty funny music video. I think the album artwork really reflects that music video, if you ask me, with the dog catcher, the dogs, all him transforming into a dog, everyone transforming into a dog, and then, just running from the dog catcher and all that stuff. And then you know, at the park when just interrupting the picnic and then just dancing at the end at that random club or whatever. That was one thing about '90s hip hop is a lot of people do dance to some of those songs. So, what are your thoughts on "What's My Name"?
Yeah, I honestly I didn't really this was one of those songs that I thought I didn't know just by looking at the title. I didn't know what's my name and I didn't even know it by Who Am I, but as soon as the song came on and she was like Snoop Dogg, I could finish it. I'm like, "Oh, okay, is this song?" But this is the song I think of when I think about Snoop Dogg.
Okay,
Um
fair,
and
fair.
I never knew until I was just listening to this when he said went solo on that ass, but it's still the same. I didn't
Yeah,
even know he was part of a group. I had to look it up. But
213.
to the video, I had seen that GIF many times of Snoop Dogg like transforming into a dog, but I never had seen this video. But as soon as I saw the dad like coming up to the door and they're like, "What are we gonna do?" I'm like, "Oh my god, this is the moment. This is the GIF I always see where he's gonna turn into a dog." And he did, and I like the dog catchers like
Yeah,
trying to
they
find
were funny. They were.
yeah. And eventually they start dancing in the club too when they get there. So,
I thought that
and
was
then
funny.
one more thing, because we always talking about how awful the cars look. Dr. Dre was standing in front of a really nice car. I don't even know what it was. I tried to
think
look it up. It was like
I,
a white sports car.
I think it was a Ferrari. I could be wrong. Either a Ferrari or Lamborghini, one of those. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Well,
it
that
was
was really well.
it was an yeah that was an incredible car. Um, one thing I will say, and I don't think I've commented on this yet. I do like the great use of animals in this music video. We don't see that every day, but yeah, they did. Whoever had the dogs in the video, yeah, good job.
Yeah, the dog trainer was on point.
Yeah, great use of dogs in that music video there. All right, so talk the singles and videos. What are your top three tracks you going with?
I landed on Gin and Juice, Murder Was the Case, and Ain't No Fun.
I knew "Ain't No Fun" was going to be one of yours. I just knew it. I just knew it. All right, we had one in common. "Murder Was a Case." That was one of my favorites. The other two I'm going with was "What's My Name" and "Serial Killer." But this is such a great album.
Okay.
You can't really go wrong with any of these songs. So I guess I can talk "Serial Killer" first since we already talked the other two. But yeah, "Serial Killer" just one of those songs that I feel once again the Dog Pound I think kills it in this one, and RBX also does too at the end. I can't believe I forgot RBX when preparing the show notes, but or the outline. But yeah, just I think my favorite part was suicide. It's a suicide. Suicide. It's a suicide. And then just corrupt. Yeah, 6 million ways to die. Choose one. Now, once again, I don't condone violence or anything like that, but it's just a good song, good, nice dark song. Just coming with that hard image. Corrupt and Daz they kill the first verse. Snoop takes it over on the second verse, and then RBX just he kills the rest of the song. You know, um, I like the part where he says, "Not picnic baskets, picnic caskets."
Oh
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
that was corrupt.
No, that was RBX.
Oh, okay. I liked his verse as well. Right after he says that, he says, "I got the machine to crack your fucking chest plates and release them guts." I was like, "What?" In the,
Yeah,
that's really impressive. It's a little graphic too, but
a little
the
graphic,
six
but yeah.
million, the 6 million ways to die. Choose one thing really drew me in too. And they said death becomes any nigga that takes me for a joke.
Yeah.
I was like, "Woof, yeah, this is a it was a good song though."
Yeah, definitely a good song. I mean, it may not be a lot of people's favorite songs, but I mean, it was a great beat. Great concept. In terms of serial killer. And then let's see, what did you like about "Ain't No Fun"?
Um, I'm a very sensitive person, and this song was highly offensive to my sensibilities, but I really liked it. It was like sonically, it was a very good song. It's like you know a song is really good if you're like just very opposed to the content, but you just can't help but enjoy it. It's just a really good song, especially like how Nate Dogg starts it out.
Yeah,
It's just a good song.
yeah, Nate Dogg really steals the show. I know, like when I go to a few concerts here or there, if they want to do a Nate Dogg dedication, they always play this one for obvious reasons. I mean, it's probably some of his best work. You know, I mean, definitely, it was a great song, great beat. I mean, I love it. I like the bob my head to it quite a bit. Just at the end of the day, not one of my picks, but an honorable mention. Um, but yeah, it is pretty offensive. But I mean, everyone's singing it if you go to a concert or go to a club, and even the ladies are singing it too. So, I mean, if it is offensive, it's not offensive for that, you know, 4 minutes or whatever, however long the song is. But oh yeah, so honorable mentions. Yeah, I had "Ain't No Fun" and "G's Up, Hoes Down." What were your honorable mentions, if you had any?
um, I think I could go with Serial Killer. I forgot to even write that down, but I like Serial Killer. That was a pretty good one.
All right, pretty cool. And any song you could go without for the album?
I didn't like For All My Niggas and Bitches. I felt like the hook was like lacking
Mm,
something. She was singing it, and I'm like, maybe they shouldn't have sang this. Maybe somebody should have like rapped it. I don't know. I didn't like
yeah,
it.
it was a pretty good song. I mean, I think it was like mid-tier song in my opinion. I think for me was probably had to be the last song, "Pump Pump." I didn't really care for that one too much, but yeah.
Agree. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna get into album cuts and expansions. So, the 30-year anniversary edition, and if you did get that, it is on vinyl, and I'm not sure if he has it on CD. He probably does. You can probably get it on CD too if you want, and it is available on streaming services at the time of this recording. A song that did return was one of my honorable mentions, "G's Up, Hoes Down." And little story behind that, and if you did go through it, it was after the album had come out, I guess the sample wasn't officially cleared, and then it was a Isaac Hayes sample. So I guess something had happened, and then they had to pull it from all future pressings. So if you had that original press tape or CD or vinyl, then it was probably worth a lot of money back then, because I know when I got the CD, that song definitely was not on there. So it came on one of those Death Row compilations some years later, but for the first time in 30 years, it finally returned to Doggy Style with the 30-year anniversary edition. So, and then with the help of Isaac Hayes' son, he was able to help get that back on that on the album. So, well, what were your thoughts on that whole thing?
Um, I, I thought like the very beginning with the cymbals and the man laughing. I
Mm.
don't know whose signature that is, but that's the same exact thing that happens at the beginning of like Ashanti's "Rain on Me." And I'm
Oh,
like, this is so random. But I honestly I didn't care too much for the song, but I like the story behind it.
yeah. I just like the smoothness behind it, just him like singing almost, and I thought he did a pretty good job, and just definitely a shame that it wasn't on the album, at least when I bought it back in the day. But I mean, I know a lot of people like it, and people demand he sing it like when he's in concert. I mean, now that it's back on his album, he might actually start performing it more. Who knows? I mean, we'll have to wait and see. So, G's Up, Hoes Down. If you like that song, definitely it's on the album. Take a listen. All right.
I think I read that it was like only they only had sold 100,000 copies at that time when they cut off the other one,
Yeah.
and it's really incredible because in 1993 that really meant something. That meant a lot of people actually were never going to hear it until
Yeah.
now. But now if that happened, it would have been
Yeah.
everywhere. But
Yeah.
it really is special now because they really were able to keep it under locks for 30 years, which is crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, it came on one of those Death Row compilation albums like some years later, but I didn't even know when I got one of those that it was supposed to be on Doggy Style. But yeah, but like say in 1993, yeah, you weren't gonna be like you didn't have the internet to go to be like, oh, hopefully I can download this song, see if it goes viral or what. Yeah, yeah, that wasn't. Yeah, not a lot of people were gonna hear it, so it's safe to say that the internet is good and bad in a lot of ways. So, all right, so recommendations. So we're gonna get into this. Dr. Dre's The Chronic, which we did back on episode 3. That's definitely a recommendation. If you like the G Funk sound, definitely check that out. Check our review out on that one. Warren G's Regulate G Funk Era is also another recommendation. We have not done that one yet. We will be doing it in a future video. And last recommendation we have was the Murder Was the Case soundtrack, which again we'll be doing in a future video. That should be a fun one actually. I'm actually looking forward to that one, but it's some ways away. But we will be doing it. Also check out the rest of Snoop's catalog and the Dog Pound. A lot of great work, a lot of great guys on this whole album here. Um, but yeah, just definitely check them all out. So I do gotta ask, um, between this and the Chronic, which one did you like better?
This.
Okay, okay, fair, yeah. I think the
Yeah.
I think the Chronic was a little better produced, but at the end of the day, as an MC, Dr. Dre, he's not the strongest of MCs as we know. So, um,
Yeah, with Snoop Dogg, if I thought, before listening to this, I'm like, it's more about how he says it than what he says. But after listening to this, I'm a little more appreciative of his lyrical
mhm.
abilities. It's pretty good, along with a great beat. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Snoop is a great lyricist, and he is considered one of the best. I mean, he's not my favorite, but definitely he is considered one of the best. And then I think of all the albums, I haven't heard all of Snoop's albums, but of all the albums I've heard, I think this would have to be the best and my favorite, in my opinion. I don't know. Just I think it was just such a strong debut. Just I don't think he's really topped it. Maybe Pay the Cost to Be the Boss came like the closest, maybe yeah, maybe another one. But I mean that's yeah, that's also, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah, talk about sophomore
it was good.
slumps. Yeah, his next album wasn't the greatest.
I think it was probably going to be hard to top this because the whole doggy thing is not just the theme of this album, but it's the theme of like his persona. So it's hard to go over this one. It was pretty good. I can see why it was a classic.
Oh yes, for sure, definitely a classic. Um, all right, so we are in the final parts of the episode. Closing thoughts. Any songs you're taking back to your playlist?
Um, yeah, I think I'll take "Murder Is the Case" back. Yeah, I guess that's really the one I'm gonna take back. I really enjoyed that. And I'm
ain't
trying to think of
ain't
the
no
name.
fun.
Yes,
Ain't no
yes,
fun.
ain't no
Okay.
fun. I'm gonna take that one back too.
All right. Well, this is definitely all these songs are songs I've listened to countless of times over the years. So I mean, with Jesus Up Holds Down, I mean that was on my playlist when that came back. I was actually this close to doing this album for one of our choice episodes, but then I kind of changed my mind. I'm like, nah, I'll do something else. But it was very very close. But I'm glad we waited. Just I don't think I was too much in a rush, but this one and pretty much the songs I shouted out. What's My Name? Serial Killer. Um, Ain't No Fun. I mean, those are songs that are on my uh everyday playlist anyway. So, um, but shout out to all these songs. All these songs were really really good. Even the skits weren't that bad either. So, I mean, the only song I could probably do without was the last song, Pump Pump. But otherwise, great album. Not that long. Definitely give it a listen, folks. If you like what you saw, definitely once again give this video a like, comment, share it around, subscribe. For Netta, I'm Justin, Too Tall for Youthful, saying so long. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We will see you on the next one. Later, folks.